Near the end of 2024, OpenAI released a series of models called O1, which demonstrated reasoning capabilities we hadn't really seen before. These models marked the rise of what are now called large reasoning models, which are large language models that spend significant thinking time to solve complex problems, thinking through problems step by step using long chains of thought. This long reasoning utilizes computing resources at inference time to increase the model's capabilities, also known as test time compute reasoning. In early 2025, DeepSeek shocked the AI community with the release of DeepSeek R1, a reasoning model that rivals OpenAI's models but was released fully open source, free for anyone to use and study. From the DeepSeek R1 paper, a crucial learning was that reinforcement learning plays a critical role in developing these reasoning abilities in large language models. Specifically, DeepSeek used an RL algorithm called GRPO, short for Group Relative Policy Optimization, which became extremely popular since. However, there's still a big unresolved question. What is actually happening during reinforcement learning that enables reasoning to emerge in large language models? Researchers observed surprising moments during training where the model starts to reflect on its reasoning or reconsidering its solution. Another such example is length scaling, where reasoning performance improves with longer and more detailed outputs. These were described as aha moments without a clear understanding of why they appear. In this video, we dive into a recent paper titled Emergent Hierarchical Reasoning in LLMs Through Reinforcement Learning, which aims to shed clarity on why reinforcement learning works for large language models and on why these aha moments appear. Building on that, the paper also proposes an improvement to GRPO called HICRA, which we'll take a look at as well. But before looking at reinforcement learning itself, let's clarify what we actually mean by reasoning in large language models. In the following figure from the paper, we see an illustration of human-like hierarchical reasoning, which is composed of two levels: high-level strategic planning and low-level procedural execution. At the root of the tree, we start with a problem. The yellow nodes represent high-level planning steps. These steps include phrases like, "First, I need to understand," or "I notice that." These are decisions about what to do next. Once a plan is formed, the model moves into low-level execution, shown as blue nodes. This includes concrete steps, such as mathematical calculations or applying already learned skills. Importantly, this process isn't linear. The model can return to high-level planning through self-reflection, re-evaluating its approach and considering alternatives before continuing execution. Finally, after a few more low-level steps, we reach a final answer. With this picture of hierarchical reasoning in mind, let's look at what actually happens during reinforcement learning. A key observation is that large language models are not trained from scratch using reinforcement learning. Instead, reinforcement learning is applied on top of base models that have already undergone extensive pre-training on large corpora of human written text. As a result, these models already contain a strong prior for this kind of hierarchical reasoning simply because it appears throughout the pre-training data. The central hypothesis of the paper is that reinforcement learning unlocks reasoning by discovering or rediscovering this latent hierarchical structure inside the large language model. And what the researchers found is that two phases are observed during reinforcement learning training of large language models. In the first phase, the model becomes proficient at foundational low-level skills. Once this procedural reliability is achieved, the learning frontier shifts and performance gains are driven by exploring and mastering high-level planning strategies. Crucially, these phases are not explicitly programmed, but rather they emerge naturally during training. This also gives us a compelling explanation for the aha moments observed during RL training. They occur when the learning bottleneck shifts from low-level execution to high-level planning when the model discovers new high-level planning strategies. The next question is, how do we actually verify that this is what's happening? But to analyze reinforcement learning through this hierarchical lens, we first need a way to separate planning from execution in the model's outputs. Concretely, the researchers distinguish between high-level planning tokens and low-level execution tokens. In the following example from the paper, planning tokens are highlighted while the remaining tokens are the low-level procedural execution tokens. One immediate observation is that most tokens are low-level tokens. We'll come back to this while analyzing the results. Another key observation is that planning tokens tend to appear in short sequences that represent strategic decisions, such as deciding to analyze the problem differently or to verify an intermediate result. Importantly, these strategic phrases are fairly generic. They are not specific to a particular problem, but rather they represent reasoning strategies. So, if we look across many successful reasoning traces, we would expect these strategic phrases to repeat frequently. Building on this insight, the researchers build a set of strategic grams, which are short strategic planning phrases identified based on their high frequency in successful reasoning traces. Then, determining whether an output token is a low-level token or a strategic planning token is straightforward, as it is determined by whether the token is part of a known strategic phrase. Now that we can distinguish between execution and planning tokens, let's see what we can learn from it. In the following figure from the paper, we see evidence for emergent hierarchical reasoning during reinforcement learning. Across all plots, the x-axis represents the training progress. Let's start with phase 1. In the top left plot, the y-axis shows the entropy computed only over low-level execution tokens. The token entropy is a measure of uncertainty in predicting the next token. Early in training, we see a sharp drop in execution token entropy, followed by consolidation. This indicates that the model starts with mastering low-level procedural execution. However, if we look at the bottom left plot showing the model's accuracy, we see that phase 1 does not yet produce a significant performance improvement. In other words, mastering execution is necessary, but not sufficient. Now let's look at phase 2. The top right plot focuses on high-level planning tokens. For strategic planning, instead of token entropy, the authors introduce a new metric that measures semantic diversity, which is based on the frequency in which the different strategic phrases appear in the model's outputs. Here we see a sharp increase in strategic diversity. This indicates that the model is not converging on a single optimal strategy, but is instead actively expanding its repertoire of strategic plans. This observation is important. Mastery in reasoning here is achieved by developing a rich and varied strategic playbook. Importantly, if we only looked at standard token entropy, aggregated across all tokens, we would be misled into thinking that exploration has stopped due to consolidated low values. This is because token entropy is dominated by low-level execution tokens, which make up the majority of the output. The semantic diversity metric, however, completely contradicts that and shows that high-level planning is still actively evolving. Finally, we see that the increase in strategic diversity closely correlates with both the performance gains in accuracy on the bottom left plot and with an increase in output length shown in the bottom right plot. With these new insights, we can ask a natural follow-up question. Can we design better reinforcement learning algorithms specifically for reasoning models? Algorithms like GRPO may suffer from a core inefficiency. They optimize the model agnostically across all tokens without distinguishing between low-level execution tokens and high-level strategic planning tokens. Building on this observation, the paper introduces a new reinforcement learning algorithm called HICRA, short for Hierarchy-Aware Credit Assignment. HICRA builds directly on top of GRPO, but explicitly addresses the inefficiency of treating all tokens the same. We have a dedicated video on GRPO, but let's do a brief recap so we can understand the idea behind HICRA. In GRPO, we start with a pre-trained large language model, which we want to further optimize using reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, we refer to the LLM we train as the policy model. Given an input prompt, instead of generating a single response, GRPO samples multiple responses. We denote the number of outputs with capital G. Each response is then scored by a reward model or using predefined rules. The rewards provide a measure for the quality of the responses. We'll want to update the model toward the best response. However, these raw rewards are not used directly to update the model. Instead, GRPO computes a quantity called the advantage, which tells us whether a given response is better or worse than the average response for that prompt. The key observation for HICRA is that while rewards are defined at the response level, the advantage is applied at the token level. Now, it is not critical for understanding HICRA, but the following formula shows how the advantage is calculated in GRPO. It uses an estimation for the average response value using the rewards of the sampled responses. This is why it's called group relative policy optimization, since the quality of a response is measured relative to the group of sampled responses. Importantly, we can see that in standard GRPO, every token in a response receives the same advantage value. Let's now understand what HICRA changes in the algorithm. HICRA leverages this structure to do something smarter. If a token is part of a high-level strategic phrase, HICRA amplifies its advantage. It does so by introducing the following advantage formula. If a token is not part of a strategic phrase, then it simply uses the previous formula. But if the token is part of a strategic phrase, it adds an extra term proportional to the absolute value of the advantage. This scaling is controlled by a hyperparameter alpha between 0 and 1. This new component amplifies the update for strategic tokens. The effect is that HICRA focuses the model's learning signal on strategic planning decisions while still preserving the stability of low-level execution learning. To evaluate the impact of HICRA, the researchers compared directly against GRPO across multiple base models and a range of reasoning benchmarks. In the first table from the paper, we see results on several mathematical reasoning benchmarks. We can see that HICRA consistently outperforms GRPO, where the improvement is highlighted in blue. These gains are observed across different models and benchmarks. The paper reports a similar pattern on multimodal reasoning benchmarks shown in the next table. Once again, HICRA delivers consistent and meaningful improvements over GRPO. These experiments provide strong empirical support for the claim that focusing credit assignment on the emergent strategic bottleneck allows HICRA to develop advanced reasoning abilities more efficiently than token-agnostic approaches like GRPO. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel. We also send 1-minute read summaries by mail about the papers we review here. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more reviews of AI papers.